donation pipeline. In 2017, Relief Link International was more than an organization. It was a movement. Headquartered in Washington, D.C., it had become the world's largest humanitarian NGO, operating across 80 countries with a staff of over 12,000. Its mission statement was simple: deliver hope where hope has vanished. From the deserts of Yemen to the jungles of Congo, Relief Link trucks painted with blue doves rolled through disaster zones carrying food, medicine, and the message of compassion. Billions of dollars flowed through its accounts. Donations from individuals, corporations, and governments. Its CEO, Dr. Caleb Donovan, a former trauma surgeon, had become the media's poster child for selfless service. His speeches at the UN drew standing ovations. But beneath the photos of smiling orphans and well-fed refugees lay a truth darker than any war zone Relief Link claimed to save. The scandal began, as most do, with a detail nobody cared about. During a 2022 fiscal review of Relief Link's East African operations, a 74-Avon invoice for emergency water pumps appeared twice in the organization's records. The supplier, Aquaserve Limited, existed only as a mailbox in Nairobi. The discrepancy reached Mara Jennings, a forensic accountant temporarily seconded from an external auditing firm. Mara had spent 12 years unraveling financial crimes for Fortune 500 companies. But this was her first non-profit engagement. I expected inefficiency, she recalled later. What I didn't expect was precision. The kind of precision only deliberate fraud can achieve. She began running random samples across Relief Link's global ledgers. Invoices repeated under different vendor names, procurement documents missing signatures, and payments routed through regional hubs that didn't match field deployment reports. When she presented her findings to the internal audit committee, the response was polite dismissal. NGO accounting is complex, they told her. Sometimes it's better not to question everything. That phrase, better not to question, became her motivation. Mara expanded her scope quietly, requesting transaction histories from Relief Link's largest operational divisions: Middle East Emergency Response and Africa Development Operations. One name surfaced repeatedly: Blue Crescent Logistics LLC, a company billed as Relief Link's strategic partner for transport and field supply. In 18 months, Blue Crescent had received over $420 million in payments. When she requested their registration file, it traced back to an address in Dubai, an office that turned out to be a shared workspace. The listed directors were offshore nominees. The beneficial owner, a Belizean trust called Fairfield Solutions, with no declared business activity. Mara suspected money laundering. But without whistleblower evidence, she needed internal access. 2 weeks later, an email arrived through an encrypted Proton Mail address. You are looking in the right place. Blue Crescent is the heart of the pipeline. Check Project Falcon, Ukraine shipments March 2021R. Attached was a scanned manifest for medical equipment shipped from Poland to Lviv. The listed cargo included ventilators and hospital kits. But customs data showed the shipment never arrived. As she would learn, was Rahim Al-Sayed, a mid-level procurement officer based in Amman. His job was to authorize local contracts for Relief Link's Middle East operations. For years, he'd been signing off invoices that didn't match deliveries. When I asked why, my supervisor said, "Don't worry, the paper is the project. The rest is politics." That's when I started saving everything, he wrote. Rahim had copied 8 GB of internal correspondence, bank records, and vendor communications. They revealed how Relief Link's executives had built an entire shadow supply chain. Here's how it worked. Donor funds flowed from Washington into regional program hubs. Each hub contracted local suppliers, many of them fictitious, to handle food, logistics, or infrastructure. Payments moved through a layered series of transfers, each one obscuring the previous. In several cases, the money ended up in offshore accounts linked to executives and consultants. Relief Link's CFO, Thomas Beck, signed off every transfer with what he called strategic disbursement waivers. The justification: security risk, emergency logistics, and confidentiality. In truth, it was a license to steal. Between 2018 and 2022, ReliefLink reported $2.6 billion in operational disbursements. Forensic reconstruction would later show that as much as $480 million had vanished into private accounts. When Mara escalated her findings to the board, she was met with hostility. Dr. Donovan called her analysis reckless. "You don't understand the field," he told her. "We deal with regimes, militias, and chaos. Sometimes money buys peace. Without peace, no aid gets through." The implication was clear: the corruption was a necessary evil. Within days, Mara's access credentials were revoked. HR cited security clearance reassessment. She received a polite email offering her a transfer to an unrelated audit division, effectively a demotion. But by then, she had already backed up the entire dataset to an encrypted cloud drive. That same night, Rahim vanished. On June 18, 2023, Rahim left ReliefLink's Amman office to meet an American contact at a hotel near the embassy. He never arrived. His phone went offline at 6:42 p.m. Local authorities listed him as missing. His wife received a single text hours later. "They know. Don't contact Mara." No trace of him was ever found. For Mara, that was the turning point. She went to the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, with her findings. Within a week, a joint task force was formed, Operation White Dove. Federal agents began tracing money through correspondent banks in New York. They discovered that Blue Crescent Logistics shared routing details with a cluster of companies tied to a Caribbean investment portfolio managed by a private equity fund. That fund, in turn, listed ReliefLink's CEO as an informal advisor. The aid money wasn't being spent, it was being invested. Funds meant for refugee relief had been diverted into real estate in Dubai, biotech startups in Boston, and even a private jet registered under a shell company in Malta. The investigators also uncovered encrypted chat logs where executives referred to payments as pipeline lubrication. When journalists broke the story, ReliefLink went into full crisis mode. A glossy press statement read, "These allegations are politically motivated. We have delivered more humanitarian impact than any organization in modern history." They hired top legal counsel and crisis PR experts. Donovan appeared on morning shows, his tone measured, calm, reassuring. Every large organization faces accounting challenges, but our mission remains unchanged: saving lives. Meanwhile, agents quietly froze ReliefLink's US accounts. Staff in the field stopped receiving payments. Projects collapsed overnight. By early 2024, the Department of Justice filed indictments against 12 executives and contractors. Charges included wire fraud, obstruction, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. The trial unfolded like a movie. Prosecutors presented forensic visuals, financial flows mapped in neon colors, showing how aid money branched into offshore webs. The defense argued that ReliefLink had been forced to operate in gray zones because of geopolitical instability. But the numbers didn't lie. Mara testified for 6 days. Calm, deliberate. Her voice carried weight as she detailed how they traced funds through double ledger entries, matched IP addresses for fraudulent sign-offs, and reconstructed deleted emails from shadow servers. "You can fake invoices," she said, "but you can't fake metadata." When the verdicts came, 10 defendants were convicted. Donovan was sentenced to 38 years. Beck received 25. ReliefLink's assets were liquidated to repay donors. Months later, Congress launched hearings on NGO accountability. Headlines called it the fall of the dove. Donors became skeptical of all charities. Smaller, legitimate organizations saw funding evaporate. Mara, disillusioned, left the corporate world. She opened a small ethics consultancy advising non-profits on financial transparency. In one televised interview, she reflected, "Relief Link wasn't unique. It just got caught. The tragedy isn't that they stole, it's that so many wanted to believe they couldn't." Her words sparked a wider debate about the unseen side of compassion, the machinery that runs on money, influence and silence, moral and call to action. Corruption hides best where people least expect to find it, behind good intentions. The donation pipeline reminds us that virtue without verification is just branding. Every dollar donated in hope must be tracked with the same rigor as corporate profit. Whether we give, audit, or lead, integrity is the only currency that never loses value. Ask questions, demand reports, follow the receipts. Because charity without accountability isn't charity at all. It's theater.